Don Peoples, Deadbolt. Let's talk about it. And yeah, man, we about to talk about it. So obviously, man, I know y'all can feel it in the air, like Benny Siegel said, man. Y'all feel it coming. Y'all know it's coming. So let's go ahead and have the discussion. Now, recently, obviously, our president Joe Biden has been in the news expressing his extreme frustration about America's vaccination rate, hovering right around 50%. And basically, in a last ditch effort to make people feel extremely guilty and unpatriotic, he hollers out, obviously, the unvaccinated people are putting everybody at risk. And as the months go on and the chatter starts to build, especially if you watch mainstream news. Now, I try not to watch mainstream news only for certain talking points, but if you just sit there and watch it, you can tell that they're very upset of how this whole thing is moving. And my whole thing is I've never seen people so adamant about putting something in somebody else. It kind of makes me feel scared now, because so many people are pressing. And it's like, are you trying to tell me that because I or people in general have not decided to go do it yet, you're saying that we are endangering the people who have done it? It really doesn't make no sense. So what does the shot protect you against? Like, really? If it doesn't protect you against the unvaccinated, then what does it protect you against? Obviously with this new strand going, the Delta variant, they're saying, hey, you might need to get more doses. So Pfizer has approved a third dose. Now, I know y'all saying, well, Don Peoples, why the Simpsons tied into this? What's going on? Well, the Simpsons had to do some predicting. So the Simpsons, 27 years ago, obviously mentioned, the C virus. And, the Simpsons, they be dead on about pretty much everything. So upon looking into it, that was the whole thing of the episode, trying to, get people to take the shot and, the doctor, faking like he was a doctor, just to make people worry, or tell people to take the shot. Just a very crazy episode. And then obviously, you had, Lisa Simpson, looking like our VP, got the pearls and the whole nine. It sometimes makes me wonder, are they messing with us? Like, because the Simpsons are connected. You want to figure out what the world is going, what everything's coming to, just watch the Simpsons. They'll get you together, man, I promise you. But, this whole situation is now playing out in front of our eyes. And it was obviously predicted, and we still have no clue where it's going. Well, I'm going to tell you where it's going. Obviously, we're pushing for it to be mandatory. And, I think a lot of jobs obviously are going to play into it. Education is going to play into it. People in the school systems and, just people in general. The people who have are going to start coming at the people who haven't. Because, as we move into flu season, you're going to start hearing lockdowns. You're already getting certain people in government saying that, we need to make a statement and, lockdown to make people go ahead and do the shot. So, I mean, it's one of those things to where with all the pressure mounting up, does this make you feel more inclined to do it or more skeptical at this point? Because it seems like you want to hurry up and try to do it before, something happens, per se. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, but when I seen the correlation, obviously, between the Simpsons and this, and then now, football being under attack, and obviously players are taking a stand with that whole situation. Football has introduced their mandatory vaccine policies for this upcoming season. And, players who have not been, will basically be treated like outcasts. Won't be able to use the same facilities for, sauna and spa, and always having to wear a mask, eat separately, the whole nine, just to be able to play the game. Obviously, subject to testing every game. They're going to make it very uncomfortable for those who haven't. And that's what the media is telling you to do. They're telling people like employers, such the NFL and other entities, to start ramping up the pressure. They want you to smell what the Rock is cooking. And the NFL is just the first. The NFL is just going to be the guinea pig to see if the professional athletes decide to all go through with it. Because right now, about 50% of the league is vaccinated. So, as you can see, even in sports, in real life, we're like divided right down the middle. You have half that have done it, and you have half that have not done it. So, the goal is to try to get it up to 60, to get it up to 70, 80. Because, once they get it up to 80%, then, 20% can just be extinguished, with concentration camps and all type of other crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, 80% is about the line they really want to get to before they just really, really try to, persecute the ones who didn't. But, Camilla Harris, she used a Bible phrase, talking about, this has something to do with religion if you don't do it. I mean, just really pumping the narrative. And this is something that we need to ask, because, now that they're preparing to go door to door in some states, what I'm saying? They're prepared to, knock on your door and ask you, have you been vaccinated? And it's like it's predicting the programming all like what I said, like real talk. Like I definitely spoke on this. If y'all follow the podcast, Deadbolt ATL streams on all, podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google. Y'all go check that out, man. I be really speaking. You feel me? Big speaker. But, I talked about the plan and the layout and, how they were going to slowly start cranking it up, because right now they doing you like a frog in water, just cranking it up just enough to think you ain't in danger. But really, man, the house is on fire. Things is burning down. Because now, with all these new rules about to come in place, it's going to be very hard for you to keep a job if you're working for an employer, to go to school, to get any federal aid or anything of that nature, because everything's going to be tied to these vaccines. They don't want any religion. They don't want any personal or anything to get in front of it. And, I really feel that with the narrative being built up, and if they can't get 60, 70% by the end, by the start of fall in the next month or so, you're really going to start seeing other measures be put in place, and with the states and the federal government, it's one of those things to where you got to kind of hope that you in the right part of the United States, because a lot of the states are just going to go with what the federal government says. But, certain states can fight back against certain things like the door to door. States have to, insist that all the way. The federal government can't impose over state law. So, you know what I mean? We have to hope that certain states just hold out, because other than that, you really got to think what's really next to come. This year seems like the last year is going to be, please take your shot. And then next year and the years after, what is it? But yet and still the FDA has not approved it. And it's one of those things that's not even regulated. So, and they don't want to take any responsibility still if you get sick. You know, the government holds no responsibility. The companies hold no responsibility if something was to happen to you. So until they change these fine little laws and rules, then I don't think, people should exercise with caution. You don't need to rush and do anything because you're feeling pressured. Now you want to make the wise decision for you, your family, and your body. And that's really what it is. Because right now, you can smell what the rock is cooking. And don't be surprised if in the next few months you really start seeing people start pointing fingers, because you're already seeing it in the news. You're already seeing people calling out people who choosing not to go forward with this. So I'm, I'm on the fence about it. I know exactly what's going to happen. I see the play out, but I'm just on the fence. I mean, will we stand up finally and have a backbone and try to stop the avalanche from falling on our head? But I want y'all to get in the comment box, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all feel that it's going to be mandatory pretty soon? Do you feel that it needs to be mandatory? Do you feel that the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated is a real scenario that's playing out in front of our eyes? And did the Simpsons also have a hand in predicting this whole charade? Y'all get in the comment box, man. Drop a like, subscribe, share. You already know, man, we building up this channel the right way, man, the long way. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Don Peoples, Deadbolt.